I thought I'd kind of establish a baseline for the game that I've been working on the last week and a half. And it's the start of Beatblocks. And Beatblocks is really going to be a series of games. The whole idea, and my idea as a mini games, is I'll have a basic functionality that we can go ahead and turn into a number of different games associated with building beats. Basically, I'll show where it's at now. You've seen it, but if I start it, I have the... basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to add blocks that are beat blocks to a song, and from that, I'll be able to create a beat. So if I walk through a gate, the gate just starts the looper. So there's a looper running behind the scenes now. Of course, it's not doing anything because there's no loops. And if I can get close enough to a block, I can select it. And that's track one, and I'll connect track one. And tracks basically are are channels, or also they're loops. So they create a loop. So whatever you put into the track, it'll loop. So these are sample blocks, and right now we're using colors. But if I select it and put it here, I'll get a beat. So these are 4 bars of a beat. So they're four beats to a bar. So 16 beats. And they're playing right now at 120 beats per minute. And so, it just keeps repeating. You see back to bar 2, bar 3, bar 4, and I'll go back to bar 1, back up here. So that's what's going on. The other thing I can do is you can connect a second one. And this is a second type of drum beat. And it'll start playing through bars 5, 6, 7, and 8 because it's the next 4. So you'll see it's 3, it's 4, and now it's going to go to 5. And it's went to a different beat. And then now it's 8 bars long. And so basically you just build this out as long as you want it. Not as long as you want it. I've only set it up right now for 64 bars. So that's kind of how that works. And then the other thing you can do is you can grab a second track, and you've seen this. And these are bass blocks. And so I could go ahead and add those. And you hear a bass now. And notice that this is only 4 bars, but it'll repeat, so it'll be playing over both of these. But I could add a second one, which is a different beat. And you hear the bass changing now at beat 5 or at bar 5. Not a great set of matching bars, but so that's the general idea. So I'm going to stop it, and what I've done is just behind the scenes what's going on. The key thing that you saw there are track blocks and beat blocks right now, and the song block. But the song block doesn't really do much now. So you just glue them together, and it builds up a song, glues up the sample blocks. But if I look at a beat block, a sample block, because a sample block will be the key, the sample block has lots of things associated with it. A sample to play, a track type, loop length, and so on. So it's got lots of information associated with it. So that's kind of a class, basically. And it is and the other thing it does is it uses a MetaSound. And so the basis of all this is something called MetaSound, which is new to 5, Unreal Engine 5. And it is very powerful. So I created a MetaSound. And what this is basically the ability to do sound design inside of Unreal Engine. So this is my initial one. And basically it's a wave player. So it just plays a wave. I've also got some triggers and stuff in here as well. So the other thing I can do is here I also can pass in a volume. So this is the volume of it. So I'm basically saying put the first, or whatever the wave is coming in, change the volume if you want to. And you change the volume programmatically inside of the blueprint. And I'll show you how I'm doing that real quick. I mean, basically what this allows me to do, and the basic design of this thing is going to be, is there's going to be a wave, and then I'm going to modify that wave. And the only modification of that wave right now is a volume. But this is where I'm going to put my effects on top of things, bit crushers, envelopes, however I can shape that wave, the reverb, and so on. So that's where effects will be put onto it, that they'll be added just like volume was. And I'll be showing that as time goes on, but that's a whole key. So this gives me the ability to take just a basic beat, but also then do some sound design on top of it and let the player do some sound design on top of it as well. So if I go back to here, and if I play it again, I'm going to show an example of that. We're going to run through this time, and I'm going to again select track 1, put it out here, and I'm going to put this up here. And how do you modify the beat? Well, all I've got is volume here. So what you do is shift and then select a face, and it brings up an action menu. Eventually, it'll do other things that are called actions, but right now I've got modifiers. The only one I have is volume. So if I turn the volume down, when it gets back to beat 1, or bar 1, there's running at a separate, so it does it associated with the length of the beat. It doesn't do mid beat block. It doesn't do it at beat 2. It'll do always, or bar 2. It'll do it always at bar, the first bar of that beat block. I can change it up. So again, we'll wait around until it comes around, and I'm going to have it allowed now. Okay, so this is the ability basically to shape or change the sound design of that block, that beat block during the game. Now, I'd love some ideas other than a menu approach to it, but the menu approach works. And so you would see that in that menu I just showed you, you'll see eventually all the different kinds of things you do, like a reverb level or distortion level or bit crush or whatever the parameters to add sound design on top of the beat block. So that's what's happening, and it's all because this will get built out over time. I'll be adding features to this. I'll be adding effects to this, and basically there'll just be a way that I'll be able to control that via the menu. So basically the menu, the menu will have whatever in it, and then it passes it as the values. As you change the values, it passes them. It passes them via dispatchers, basically, that the looper in the back end is listening to and applying those parameters. It's taking, for example, that float parameter called volume, and it's sending it into the playing audio component, so the MetaSound. And I just wanted to document that at this point. So that's kind of where I'm sitting at right now in the game. So that's kind of the gameplay, plus the kind of the mechanics behind the gameplay. And I'm using the power now of this wonderful thing called a MetaSound, which, you can build these. This is really a sound designer kit. It really is what MetaSound has turned into. So that's where I'm at.